Hey everyone, it's Liam Catterson. So, I'm throwing in a bit of a notice. There's been a bit of a situation that has arisen, of course, as it always has with me, and it's a big situation, but most of it's been resolved, but there are a few casualties in the works, and I'll just tell you about it first. So, I was in the middle of editing a reaction, and I was done with it, and, you know, I was clearing up some files, of course. You guys are probably going to know where this is going, especially if you've been following me on Twitter, of course. I was like, oh my god about it. And I decided to get rid of a couple of files that were now available to the public on YouTube, so I was like, well, I don't need them anymore, do I? And I selected those four and then hit delete. And suddenly everything was going. Every file on my one of my SD cards that I use for the camera, of course. Yeah, everything decided to go. There was no dialogue box saying, are you sure you want to delete this? Otherwise I think I would have been a bit more prepared, like, whoa, what you doing? So, yeah, it just straight up went, okay, bye. So, yeah, that was very fun, wasn't it? And, you know, as you do, I started a bit, panicking a bit, and I was like, oh my god, like, what do I do and all that? So, well, I knew what to do, but, you know, there is that chance, by using a recovery software like Recover, it's not going to guarantee bring back everything. Thankfully, though, it did bring back, like, what, 90% of what was on the SD card. They were unedited reaction. Like, it wasn't everything on my SD card. It was like everything in that folder there that hosted unedited, reactions, stuff that was left, that was needed to edit, of course. Thankfully, though, like I said, it seems like it's recovered, what, I guess 90% of what was deleted. And secondly, thankfully, it was the smaller SD card. It was the, 64 gig one? I have a 64 gig one and a 128 gig one for the camera, so, thankfully it wasn't the bigger one, otherwise that would have been a lot more panicky. Considering I, of course, value the bigger one as the prime one, and, since that's filled with space, yeah, I know, you'll just back it up, Liam, just in case, but, that's what I'm going to do. Like, well, I'm not going to, I probably will actually, but I'm going to cautiously, like, delete one by one rather than, you know, having a, you know, file box or whatever, like, well, a selection box, should I say. But yeah, that's the kicker as well. Like I said, 90% of it was recovered. That means there are some files that have, you know, I guess been totally destroyed or something. Or partially destroyed, because what happens during a reaction, is that, you know, I have to, you know, press the click button every 4 times or whatever, during your average one, during a 45-minute one, because, this can only record, like, what, 20 minutes and all that, including the intro, the review, everything. So, where was I gonna go with this? Oh yeah, so, part of it survived, like parts of episodes. I'm going to give you the rundown on what was heavily affected. The rest is fine. I'm going to give you a little preview on how far ahead I guess I am in terms of recording scheduling, compared to what I've uploaded at this point. So the shows, or the episodes, should I say, that's affected are Orphan Black Season 3 Episodes 2 and 4. They're not totally destroyed. I think the middle part of both episodes are fine for now. The last 10 minutes of Firefly Episode 2, which I was going to, you know, edit during the night anyways, but whatever. Yeah, that's been cut off. And, there was another part. That's really the big casualties, but I've got episode 9 of season 2 of Orphan Black as well. Like, half of it is okay. The other half is just not wanting to budge, like when you know, you want to view it. So, I don't know what to do with that, because at least, like I said, with that file, the middle part of Orphan Black episode 9, season 2, that's playable, but, you know, some of the files for episode 2, season 3, and episode 4, like I said, they are completely dead, and only, like, the, I guess, middle parts have survived. And the same goes for episode 2 for Firefly. Like, the final 10 minutes is a complete dud, as well as, I think, my post-review. So, what I'm probably going to do before I upload that on Tuesday, well, it'll be before then, but before it goes public on Tuesday for Firefly episode 2, because that's the next one, is I'm probably going to, you know, it will be a bit easier. Like, I guess the bittersweetness is there, but it's not what you want, especially since, you know, the final 5 minutes of, I guess, Firefly episode 2 was insane. Especially to what Mal did, of course. But yeah, what I'm thinking of doing, of course, sometime between now and Monday, which is probably when it's going to render during my sleep and all that, is I'm probably going to do like a review with, I'll probably remember, you know, what I liked, because there was a lot of aspects and stuff that really stood out in that episode. And, you know, for things that I really, really love, one of the perks of my, you know, autism, I guess, is that, you know, you remember a lot of stuff that you're so invested with, like Doctor Who especially, and, you know, Formula 1 with me, and Firefly is really, really escalating in terms of my interests. But I'm probably going to do a little bit of a review to kind of, I know it won't be as great describing it rather than seeing what you could have potentially saw, but, you know, accidents like these happen, unfortunately. And it's funny, like, fandom reactions, you know, they lost episode 11, which is a big episode for series 9 of Doctor Who. And, you know, people was like saying, well, how can you do that? It's easy. It's so easy, you know, for you to potentially lose your data like that. And like I said, I'm thankful that 90% of it has come back A-okay. Although there is still some concerns that some of the files might react like episode 9, season 2, Firefly, where half of it is okay, then the other half is like, so, I'm probably going to do something like that if I can, like, in terms of, to edit it. I think what's happened is, it's basically a hybrid, like, it's fine, but it's not fine towards the end. It's acting up like, episode 2, season 3 of the unrecoverable files. Which is funny, because they said they were recoverable, but here we are. So yeah, for what I'm going to do with Firefly episode 2 is probably going to do, and I guess, detailed what I thought about the final 10 minutes as well as the overall episode. I have to do that again, but I don't mind, because that episode was bloody fantastic anyways. And I guess episode 9 of season 2 for Orphan Black should be fine. Like, you know, just disregard the dead half, like I've just mentioned a few moments ago. I mean, it might rile up some people, of course, but this is the thing with me. Like, I'm a bit, you know, of course, I was also worried about how people would react if, like, you know, all of it, I could not recover all of it. So I was panicking left, right, and centre, because, you know, all that work has gone down the gutter, as well as the fact that, you know, I don't want to disappoint you guys as well. So there's that. But I'll get on to that in a minute. So yeah, episode 9, season 2, I think that'll be fine. Barring the good half. The dead half, we'll just have to wait and see. And what else was I going to mention? Oh yeah, episodes 2 and 3, the ones where, you know, most of the reaction are basically goners. What I'm thinking of doing is probably merging the two together, like, so at least you get something from those two reactions. I'll put a disclaimer, of course, in the beginning saying, oh, well, this happened, and, you know, this is better than nothing, I guess. So what I'm thinking of doing is merging them 2 episodes together, so at least you get a sight of what I reacted to during those 2 episodes. And everything else should be hunky-dory, in my opinion, so yeah. But, like I said, I was going to get to, I apologise that this has become a bit of a kerfuffle in terms of the scheduling. I know this is going to, I know, especially with these reactions coming up, it's not going to, you know, go down well with a couple of people, but, you know, that, you can't really do anything about it when you've done your best, I guess, because I've downloaded like 5 billion, recovery, software. Yeah, I've downloaded like a lot of them in the efforts to try and get it back, and I guess Recover, as should be expected, did the job, but like I said, there was those files that said they were recoverable, but they really weren't. So, you know, I tried to do something like that, tried to repair it or something, and it just, you know, wasn't meant to be. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do with episodes 2 and 4, season 3 for Orphan Black. And I wouldn't care. I think episode 4 was the one with the whole brain stabby thing, which I was like, oh no. So that would have been like, not to toot my own horn, but I think that would have been a gold reaction in terms of, you know, showing you guys. But, yeah, like I said, I do apologize for the inconvenience this is, you know, kind of left. It, you know, it did kind of crush me when, you know, everything was going on and, you know, I was like having a bit of a breakdown myself, and I'm thankful for a couple of my close friends who, like, saw the tweet and felt that concern for me, and, you know, put a smile on my face, with some of the messages that they sent. So, I want to thank, you know who you are, you would, of course, but, no, it did lift, I took some time on social media just to clear my head, because I could not be dealing with that, whilst, you know, trying to, well, all of my day, ever since I deleted the files yesterday, was finding a way to get back those files that seemed recoverable, but they really weren't. So, I spent all day, like, I had a whole day planned on editing several reactions during that night, as well as writing, but that wasn't meant to be. So, yeah, I'm a bit more upbeat. It's still a bit of a shitter, of course, because, you know, I didn't want this to happen, and I guess mistakes do happen, but like I said, I just want to apologize to, especially for when, you know, those episodes do come up, for the inconvenience this has given off, because, it's a shitty thing, especially when when it's basically filmed in advance. You've done a lot of work, of course, to, you know, film a lot of stuff, and, you know, it does go down in the gutter. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare, but I mean, like I said, I've found solutions. What I was also thinking of, was, you know, still trying to, I guess, you know, try to beat the dead horse. Is that the expression they use? I don't know, but, my mind's been in a bit of a mess these 24 hours, if you can't imagine, but, yeah, what my other plan was to, you know, keep, you know, prodding at the unrecoverable files until there was a way. And, you know, I would basically, leave certain episodes, like episode 2 and 4 of, Orphan Black season 3, until a later date. Like, I would post them at a later date. So, for example, you'd get episode 1, and then it will jump to episode 3 on the next time Orphan Black would be posted, with a bit of a disclaimer, of course, saying, well, I'm still trying to, you know, fix these files, so episodes 2 and 4 will come out at a later date, but just bear with me. But like I said, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think the best we can hope for at this point is the little hybrid idea that I had for episodes 2 and 4 for season 3. Just merge them in one video, so at least you get something. And I am not basically, you know, doing a hopeless thing by, you know, trying to recover dead files when it's not going to happen. So that's my intention. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a shitty situation, but, bearing in mind that I've got 90% of the files back, there could be more casualties, like I said, as well, with some of the files that I did recover. Like I said, with episode 9 of season 2, that's a bit jumpy with the first half, and then the second half is like, so there could be that potential that other files, there was a lot of files on there, of course, and there's a potential, that there are going to be more files that are going to potentially be like that. So, Like I said, I'll probably put a disclaimer saying, I know you'd want me to react to certain moments of this episode, but this happened, and I'll probably refer to this link so people can get a better understanding and all that, because not everyone's going to watch it. People are probably there's going to be those comments that are like, why did you not react to this? Or like, jazz, without checking out the channel. Like, it's basically my summer reaction. Why are you not reacting to Camp Camp? Because I'm on hiatus, just chilling. So, speaking of which, I'm gonna try and make it up by, posting Camp Camp episodes 3 and 4. Like I said, regarding my whole Rooster Teeth video that I did a couple of days ago, that I'm going to, like, there's this situation going on, but basically I'm going to say in my dispute, if I can't post these, please tell me, because it's a bit of a confusing situation to begin with. Like, should you post these reactions or should you not? So I'm probably going to leave a message in my disclaimer for my Rooster Teeth videos. If I can't post these, just please tell me, because it's a bit of a pickle. There's some people who are doing this, there's some people who are not, and since Full Screen are in charge of Rooster Teeth, they are giving the okay for reactions to be disputed. So whereas people are still skeptical if they should be, despite with the fact that they're only on Rooster Teeth. Only on Rooster Teeth's site. So, yeah, I'm gonna give them that chance to say, okay, well, don't do this or whatever. So, yeah, that's happening with Camp Camp episodes 3 and 4 tomorrow, and Red vs. Blue episodes 6 and 7 will be posted on the Monday. So that's kind of like my little making up present, but I know that I'm completely at fault for, you know, I guess not paying a bit more attention. But then again, this doesn't normally happen. I just went to click those 4 videos and then, so, yeah, I'm gonna be a bit more cautious, of course, but I apologize, like I said, and, yeah, it's a bit of a shitty situation, but hopefully, well, I hope the majority of you will understand. There'll probably be a few pissy people, but shit happens, and, like I said, that's a bit of a doozy, isn't it? So yeah. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my Media Pizza channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and understood. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!